Hello everyone, this is Alex from AVGChannel, and currently we are at the IMGA China CEO Summit. So today I bring you some two heavily impressive CEOs here. So let's get started, okay? First, can you introduce yourself and your companies briefly, please?
Hey, my name is Erik. I'm the CEO of the DoDreams game studio based in Helsinki, Finland. We're the makers of Drive Ahead games. Drive Ahead is a gladiator car fight game where you get points by hitting your friend in the head with a car.
Hi, my name is Tyrone McAuley. I'm from PikPok in New Zealand. We're New Zealand's largest game developer. Been making games for about 20 years. We make a wide range of games from sports to action to endless runners to puzzle to card collectible games. I'm really pleased to be here in China.
When you decide what kind of games you want to make in your studio, I think there's two things that are important. First is that you have to look at the market and see if there's some kind of gap. That is there something where you can be competitive. For our studio, it was that we wanted to make local multiplayer games. So they're games that you can play on the same device with your friend. And we used the revenue we got from those games to fund development of online multiplayer technology. The second thing is your team background, experience, and passion. So, for example, racing is something that Finnish people love. We grew up watching Formula One racing, rally driving. You know, we have lots of snow in Finland, so when you get your driver's license, any poor car becomes like a really powerful car you can slide on the streets, and we have lots of forests, so there's these back roads where you can drive and like swerve all over the place. So that's kind of like the thing that you look at the market, and then what does the team have love and passion towards?
Cool, yeah, my answer is pretty much the same. Two things. So it's, is there a market opportunity, and does your team have the experience, and really are they passionate about building those games? So for us, when we started looking at sports games, again, we're another country that we have a proud heritage in sports. The All Blacks, our national rugby team, are the greatest rugby team in the world. So we're very proud of that. And, I personally worked on a lot of sports titles in console before we started moving into mobile. So it was a natural progression for us to make sports games. Likewise, one of our very senior design directors had a big background in racing. I myself am very much into cars. So they were just things that we were really passionate about, we had an affinity for, and we just wanted to make games around that. But we've also found other passions inside of the studio as well, so pretty much the same reasons. That can be very tough to assess a market that's out there because you don't necessarily have all the market data that you need. We will quite often look at competing games to see whether a market exists. We'll get an estimate for the size of the audience that might attract, some of the KPIs, how that game is performing on the grossing and ranking charts. We'll do research on some platforms that can tell us market data like Facebook to tell us how big an audience is. But a lot of it comes down to, you've got to have a gut feel for it. And if you've got to come up with a great game design that will serve that market and that audience. And for us at PikPok, we try not to copy other people's games. We try to innovate and find new and interesting ways to blend different types of gameplay and different genres. So that's how we go about it.
Originally at DoDreams, perhaps we made a lot of our games based more on the passion. So if there was a gameplay idea that the team loved, we would just do it. In that case, it's important to control risk. So you have to make sure the development isn't too long and it's not too expensive for you, because the only sure thing in gaming business is failure. So you have to accept the fact that you will fail. And as the CEO, it's my job to control that risk and make sure that the cost of failure is small enough so that we try again. And the other thing I try to then get my team to believe is that our success is also inevitable. That if we just continue making these games long enough and learning, then we'll become better at it. So another thing we're doing now is the same as Tyrone here, that we're looking at the market, looking at the gaps there. For example, competition is good. So it's really good that there are similar games out there. And then we have to use our creativity to find some new twist or some way to do it better. After that, then after the game idea passes our internal test that we feel that it's fun, then the next thing we do is we tested it with our audience. Drive Ahead Games have 10 million monthly active users. So one example we've done before is that we create a new game mode as an event inside an existing game. And if it has very good feedback, then we develop a standalone game out of it. And this has been a very good way for us to control this risk of failure. Also, there are some other good tools like beta testing, where you can get the KPIs for retention and ARPU. But I think like the most important thing is going first through the passion of the team and do they believe in the game, then testing it in a cost-efficient way with the current fan base, and then third thing is look at the metrics. In Western markets, many game studios say that they are a games first company or mobile first game studio, so that they want to focus on gaming. And it's interesting that in China, it seems that the whole country is mobile only. So the way people use WeChat in every area of their life, like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Google Hangouts, they're far behind this. So I think that's one interesting phenomena, just how people love games here, how it is acceptable to say that gaming is your hobby. In Western markets, still sometimes people might be a little bit ashamed to say that they play games because they're considered a little bit a waste of time. Or let's say that people who play very casual games don't even think of it as a hobby. It's just something they do to spend their time, and they don't think that it's a hobby. Then there are, if I look at the Chinese game studios, I'm very, very interested in the high production value of the games here, really great graphics, excellent free-to-play game design. I love how the Chinese studios do live operations, so you have these different themes and events and tournaments in the game, all kinds of wonderful stuff to activate the players, and then connect that with offering in-app purchases. What I would like to see in the future in China, and what I want to follow, is how the ad revenue model develops here. So currently, I think the Chinese studios are leaving a huge amount of money on the table because they can't do ads, and the platforms and the stores don't allow it. So only a small percentage of people will ever spend money in the game. And I think ads are a very good way to monetize that huge mass market that still exists there.
Yeah, I'm still learning quite a lot about the Chinese market, and that was one of the purpose of this trip. Our games for PikPok are being played a lot more by Chinese players, mainly on the App Store, and we're seeing some great growth there. But we realize that that's only part of the equation. So really understanding the Android landscape is an important step for us, and there are a lot of complications, like Erik was saying. Just the fact that you have to deal with multiple stores, and we can't publish ourselves, and you can't make money through ads. All the different forms of payment and billing that exist, the WeChat Pay and Alipay and carrier billing, and who knows what else is coming next. And I go to a few conferences around the world, and there'll always be someone talking about what's happening in China. But the thing I notice is that every time I come and see the next talk, so much has changed. So I think in order for us to really understand this market well, and we've heard that a lot from some of the channel partners, is you just need to spend more time here. So this is a huge learning opportunity for me. I'll be taking as much knowledge as I can back to our team back in New Zealand and sharing it. So yeah, we're very excited about this market, and we want to learn as much as we can.
I've attended IMGA 100% of the times it's been arranged. So this is the second time, and I've been both times. The organizers, Migu, My Games, and then the International Mobile Game Awards organization, I think, have done a wonderful job in creating excellent event. This is the only place where I've had a good opportunity to network with Chinese game studios, the mobile operators or carriers, and the stores. So I'll be here again for sure. It's a very busy 4 days we have here. So playing a lot of games and having all kinds of workshops and meetings with people, and then drinking, networking events. That's good, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here. So it's to meet a lot of people, and it's really great.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, I think this is a fantastic opportunity to meet all the right people in the local market. I think My Games and Migu and IMGA have done a fantastic job as well, pulling this all together. It's all the right people you want to be talking to. Realizing that language is a real barrier as well. Like I was trying to learn a few phrases on my way over, but all I know how to say is hello and how do I go to the toilet and a few other things like that. So, so the translation has been quite amazing, and the way it's all been set up to allow that exchange of ideas and information. And there are some real opportunities that exist, I think, for Chinese companies, whether they're carriers or channel partners or game developers, and likewise for foreign companies coming in. And but there are also some real challenges that need to be worked through in order for everything to work out well for everyone. So it's been really encouraging to sit down and have some good discussion about that at a level that would be very, very hard to do otherwise. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic event. I'd certainly want to come in the future, and we'll probably look to bring more than one person next time we come across, if we're allowed.
That's all for today. So let's thank Eric and Tyrone, and stay tuned with AVG channel, and we have more information for coming.